The empty streets are punctuated by barrels and barbed wire, buildings lie in ruin, while weeds grow in size and number under the hot sun. This is the no man's land which lies on the Mediterranean island of Cyprus, and things have been this way for 44 years now, frozen in time, as another anniversary is ticked off in a decades-old rift. Pictured here are haunting scenes inside the city of Nicosia, which is now the only divided capital city in the world and separated by a UN Green Line buffer zone. Cyprus was split in 1974 when Turkey sent in troops following a coup by supporters of union with Greece. Only Turkey recognizes a Turkish Cypriot declaration of independence in the island's northern third, where it keeps more than 35,000 troops. The military operation of July 20, that year codenamed Operation Attila by Turks, uprooted 165,000 Greek Cypriots, while about 40,000 Turkish Cypriots were displaced in intercommunal violence in the 1960s and a population transfer in 1975. Share this article. Tensions between Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots had reached a peak in 1963 when President Makarios proposed constitutional reform. Around this time, both communities suffered hundreds of casualties during widespread fighting, with hundreds more missing, presumed dead. The 1974 intervention resulted in some 37% of the island being captured by Turkish forces. UN peacekeepers have patrolled the area for years to try and prevent clashes between the populations of the two halves of the island. The demilitarized zone is restricted to the general public, and no Greek or Turkish Cypriots are allowed inside. In places, the neutral zone spans miles, but in the old town of Nicosia, it is barely 10 feet wide and still filled with echoes of the past. 1974, the year that changed the island. Greece and Turkey focus on easing tensions in the Aegean. Greece and Turkey agreed earlier this month to focus efforts on easing tensions in the Aegean, Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras said, after meeting Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan on the sidelines of a NATO summit. "I put to the Turkish president this increase in Turkish violations in the Aegean. And we finally agreed to give emphasis to our efforts to reduce tensions," Tsipras told the news conference in Brussels on July 12. The two countries, which are members of the military alliance, are at odds over a host of issues ranging from ethnically split Cyprus to sovereignty over airspace and overflights. Turkey says its jets carry out regular patrols along the Aegean as part of its right to protect its borders. While tensions have long simmered, the rhetoric between the two neighbors has sharpened in the past 2 years. 2 Greek soldiers detained by Turkey and 8 Turkish soldiers seeking asylum in Greece have been the focal point of verbal jousting in recent months. The meeting with Erdogan, which lasted almost 2 hours, was not the easiest of meetings, Tsipras told journalists. The Greek soldiers were arrested in March after crossing a borderline between the two countries and faced charges of illegal entry in Turkey. The 8 Turkish commandos, who commandeered a helicopter to flee Turkey as a coup against Erdogan crumbled in July 2016, have sought asylum in Greece. Turkey says they were involved in the putsch and demands they be returned to face trial. Tsipras said he raised the issue of the Greek soldiers, whom, he said, were in custody without charge. In turn, he said, Erdogan raised the matter of the Turkish commandos who fled to Greece. I stressed, once more, I made clear, that in Greece, the Greek judiciary is totally independent, Tsipras said, referring to applications by those individuals to claim asylum. At the same time, I underlined what I have repeatedly stated, that for the Greek government, requests from any country, from Turkey in this case, or anyone who attempts the breakdown of democratic order, are not welcome in our country. The two countries also agreed that their foreign ministers maintain contact on ethnically split Cyprus, divided since the Turkish invasion in 1974 after a brief Greek-inspired coup. The latest bid to unite the island under a federal umbrella collapsed exactly 1 year ago.